Stafford is in concussion protocol and is out today. Bryce Perkins came in as the backup last week against the New Orleans Saints. He's expected to make his first career start today. But he'll be facing Patrick Mahomes in his favorite time of the year. The Chiefs QB has been at his best after Thanksgiving with a 19-3 career record in Week 12 or later. But he's not overlooking the task at hand today.
They have a ton of talent. I mean, they're still a great defense. I mean, I watch them in all the games they've played this year, and they've done a great job. And obviously, 99, he strip sacked me last time twice when we played him, so we got to make sure we account for him every single time. You can just go down the list. They have great players all throughout that defense.
This team is extremely hard and difficult to prepare for and plan for. They do such a great job, and the quarterback is an alien. Let's be honest, he's an alien, and they also had an alien at tight end. And the rest of the guys are playing their butts off, and they're doing a nice job.
Feels like a pretty fair assessment of this Kansas City offense. Obviously, they're really difficult to beat. And we spent so much time talking about the KC offense. But, Teddy, when you look at this Chiefs defense this year, what are you seeing out of this group?
Well, I see Chris Jones is what I see, Sam, because a lot of talk whenever the Rams play, it's going to be all about Aaron Donald and what he does from the defensive tackle, the interior of the defense, because he's one of the best in the business, probably the best. He's the best. But there's a guy on the other side in Chris Jones that's just as good, in my opinion, especially this year. 9 sacks. He leads all defensive tackles with sacks. And there's so many things that he does besides that gets to the quarterback. I mean, this is a critical 3rd and 2 situation against the Chargers. Pressure, all right, so many pressures. He leads the NFL in pass rush wins. This forces a field goal. Look at that. What he does away from the ball. Okay, here's a sack right here in the 4th quarter, 31 seconds left. They try to double team him. He does a quick swim inside. This guy's big. He's strong. He needs to be starting to be recognized in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation also, because here we go again, 20 seconds left. The end of this play, you'll see it's a Nick Bolton interception, okay? Herbert scrambles out, tips and overthrows. There it is, an interception right there. But what it was Chris Jones again. It doesn't show on the stat sheet for a sack, but he gets there, the pressure. He's at the quarterback's feet right there. These are the things you recognize when you're watching defensive film, when players are impactful, not only getting to the quarterback, but also pressure. So Chris Jones, take your eyes away from the ball just a little bit to watch this guy, because he's that good. He is in the Aaron Donald conversation.
Real quick, like Brew, as much as the Rams have struggled in the interior of their line, just give me something. Give me something to watch for. You're Mike Backer. He plays in front of you. Just give me something to watch for in the game today. Chris Jones going against this offensive line. Just give me something. What am I to watch for?
Because another thing, if I'm a linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs, he is going to take 1, 2 blockers, double teams, triple teams, and I am going to flow free. Gotcha. And I just love playing linebacker behind a guy like this, because I just get all the tackles and I get to celebrate. But there he was taking on 2 blockers. So that's like a value for linebackers for a guy like that.
Just looking at that, I just wondered, because you talk so much about, or we talk so much about Aaron Donald. Just give the fans something to look for on the other side with the D tackle. But for me, looking at this game, there's a lot of injuries at the wide receiver position. On the Rams, you got Kupp. He's out of the game. Allen Robinson is nursing the ankle. But my biggest concern is the Kansas City Chiefs, the speed, everything that they stand for. You got Kadarius Toney out. You got Mecole Hardman out. I'm wondering who's going to step up for the Kansas City Chiefs. Last week I talked about Patrick Mahomes being able to spread the ball around, 10 different receivers catching touchdowns. Who's going to be the guy to step up today for the Kansas City Chiefs?
I'll give you the answer. It's Travis Kelce. We love everything about this Kansas City Chiefs offense, right? We love Patrick Mahomes. Everybody has already crowned him MVP. I'm fine with that. But there needs to be another guy in that conversation, and that's Travis Kelce. Okay, when I was playing, we'd play guys like this. And the whole day, it was how are we going to stop this guy? And yet somehow they are inevitable. He's got 11 touchdowns, leads the league. He's got 21 more catches than second place tight end. He's got 6 more touchdowns than the second place tight end. He's got over 300 yards more than the next closest tight end. He is absolutely ridiculous. And I'll just say, when you go up against a team like this, they say, what do they say? You guys know this. They say, where's Waldo? Where's Waldo?
Yes.
Find 87.
Find them.
You find your best receiver, best tight end. You put a number 87 jersey on him all week in practice. There's pictures all around the building. I this visual of in front of every urinal in the bathroom in the locker room is a picture of Travis Kelce. Find this man, okay? We may lose to this team, but we're not going to lose because of him. And yet, he still finds a way. There's 2 games this year where the Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce scored every single one of their touchdowns. And he was the focal point of the guy you have to stop. So I know they're banked up.
You see him going off today?
I'm saying he goes off again today. He is inevitable.
What would you do with him,
think
Rex?
He's co-MVP. He should be. If Cooper Kupp was going to be in the conversation last year as MVP,
I agree.
then Travis
There you go.
Kelce.
Yeah.
I know he's a tight end. Tight ends don't get as much
He's a
respect.
wide receiver.
We want to crown it to a quarterback all the time. He deserves to be in the conversation.
Sam, you asked me what I would do. I would put my best player on him. I would literally say, okay, Jalen Ramsey, no. You go right here and you get on Travis Kelce. And 2 things that'll accomplish. Number 1, this Ram defense hadn't shown up the last couple of weeks. So I want to energize my unit. How do I do it? I challenge my best player outside of Aaron Donald and say, no, you go get this cat. I don't care what the coverage. If we're playing zone, we can run some boxing, let him cover him and still play zone behind. But if we're going to go straight man coverage, you get on Travis Kelce. That's how we're going to start.
People do this. People have tried stuff like
this. But they don't do it with Jalen
Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Work.
They don't do it with Jalen Ramsey. I'm saying this. He's not going to shut him down completely, but you got a hell of a lot better chance if you have Jalen Ramsey on him than you do anybody else on your roster. So to me, that would be what I would do, Sam.
Yeah, this is when you even use your defensive ends. Anytime Travis Kelce is close to the line of scrimmage, you sacrifice that pass rush and say, you go ahead and reroute him and hit him before you rush the quarterback. He's just been that
But see,
good.
the Chiefs are so good. They're used to people playing them this way, so they have plays off of that, okay? Like, oh, you want to jam the tight end with the defensive end? Cool, we got something for you. Now you just took that defensive end out of his run gap responsibility on that play.
Yeah.
A lot on Travis today, obviously fewer weapons for them. I do want to take a minute and just say that all our prayers and good thoughts are with Matthew Stafford, whatever's going on there, head and neck injuries, so scary, and we hope he doesn't get back out there until they get things figured out up front also. But we got a new quarterback starting for the Rams today. We saw him against the Saints, Bryce Perkins. So, Matt, what are we seeing in this guy?
Listen, he's a good young talent, just a young player. This might actually play into what the game plan probably should be anyway. Use the naked bootleg game. This is something that the Rams have been good at in the past. And Teddy started this segment off talking about Chris Jones. Naked bootlegs are the favorite play of an offensive lineman when you're playing a guy that's better than you, and Chris Jones is better than they are up front.
Yeah, I mean, first start in the league, you got to keep pace with Patrick Mahomes. That's a tough task. All right, Rex, let's get to
Keep him on the bench.
Caesars Sportsbook Emperor's Board. Which QB will have the most passing yards today, Rex?
Well, on my Caesars Emperor's pick, obviously you're going to take Patrick Mahomes, right? He wins this thing every week. But no, I am going to go with Tua. Why? Are you kidding me? Look at these other guys. I tell you what, my buddy Sonny Terrell's like, no, you take Tua, Rex. Why? Because he's going to go crazy in this matchup. Are you kidding? Against Houston? Right there, be watching for Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and the rest of that crew to go crazy today.
All right, they're going crazy. Maybe Julio Jones can go crazy. He did a little bit against the Seahawks. He had 53 yards and a touchdown. That was his best game, that game in Germany. Today, he's in Cleveland, Ohio, taking on the Browns. All right, Adam Schefter, what's coming up on the show?
All right, Sam, coming up, Odell Beckham Jr. is closer to being healthy enough to play, but still is on the market and making waves on social media. We'll tell you who the odds-on favorite is in the OBJ sweepstakes. Plus, there were plenty of highlight